Hello, so this time I'm doing something different and doing a War Thunder Naval mode video. I do, well, it has issues, but I do quite like Naval mode of War Thunder, and frankly at this point it's the only mode I play in it. And maybe there are other people who are looking for some sort of semi-quasi-realistic naval combat game. And for those who want to get into War Thunder Naval, I'm putting up a video right now to show the basic controls of the ships and most of the basic mechanics, hopefully. So here I am in my Admiral Hippe. I hope I didn't butcher it too badly, can't really speak German. So first off, in most of the ships you have multiple weapon groups, up to 3 of them, and the big ships like this one almost always have them. By default you control your main guns. I'm moving my mouse around, and as you see, the turrets are trying to follow where the large circle is pointing at. Small circles are showing me where my turrets are looking. And on the bottom left corner you see a silhouette of my ship, and at the right column of that display there's a targeting crosshair with a no sign on it. If I press E, it will change into target everything. Once again, target only planes. Once again, target only ships. Once again, back to don't target anything. This is for your secondary and tertiary guns to target things by themselves using AI. If I, for example, say target planes. Oh, we already shut it down. I wish I could shoot planes down so easily in real games as well. So if I press it again, now secondaries will target those small boats nearby. But for now I will tell them to shut up. So on the bottom of the screen you can see a few little icons. 1, 2 and 3 are the available types of shells for the guns I have right now. So 1 is my high explosive, 2 is semi-armor piercing, and sometimes just high explosive with a base fuse, and the 3 is proper armor piercing shells. And space releases torpedoes. Q, if I press it, it goes to release only 1 torpedo mode, and that green thing is showing the selected torpedo tube's orientation, but we'll get to these later. So if I press shift, I'll get that targeting interface of sorts, and pressing Z here will zoom in and out. By default, choosing a target is middle mouse button or X on keyboard. So let's target this Fletcher class destroyer. As you see, I now get some information. Distance measured is the distance found by the rangefinders on the ship, and the shooting distance with correction is the range I command the gunners to fire at. If I move my mouse wheel up, you see shooting distance with correction increases. Now I'm commanding the gunners to shoot 1 kilometer farther from the measured range, which is ridiculous, but you can do that. And if I scroll down, in this case I'm decreasing the commanded range, and let's get back to 4,800. If I press targeting again, it will update the range of the target. If both you and or target are on the move, I would suggest you to adjust the range accordingly. If you're closing, I suggest shooting about at least 200 meters less than the measured range, so that the shells will coincide with the new position of the target ship at the end of their flight. So let's shoot. Clicking the left mouse button will shoot all the guns in all the turrets that are currently looking at the targets, and we put them on fire. That's the basic way. There's also another way. I have bound it to my right mouse button. You need to assign something to ranging shot in the controls. If I do that, I will be able to fire individual guns one by one. You can use this to find range quicker or target different sections of a ship. So these are our main guns. If I press 2 or 3, you see chosen shell changes. Right now the high explosives are loaded, so if I fire, let's fire at the cruiser. These flying shells are still high explosives, but now the reloaded ones will be the semi-armor piercing ones. Let's get back to the destroyer. So, like I said, you have 3 weapon groups on most ships, and in the Admiralty pair, if I switch to secondaries, I'll be able to control 6 105mm dual-purpose guns per broadside. You see the shells at the bottom changed. I was hoping to finish the destroyer off with secondaries, but it just died anyway. Now the first shell is a flak shell, distance fused, and the second is a 105mm armor piercing, and third is a 105mm high explosive. The distance fused ones will just explode before hitting the targets in 2 seconds. 1, boom. Yeah. These are the armor piercing ones. Going back to the primary guns, etc. So how do you select these gun groups? By default, you do that by pressing and holding Alt, and while the Alt is pressed, pressing 1 will select main guns, 2 will select secondaries, and 3 will select tertiaries. In case of cruisers, they are usually going to be your anti-aircraft guns, like this. Of course, they won't be able to fire that far. So yeah, these are the basic gunnery controls. You can also do one more thing. Like I've said, pressing E will choose the mode of targeting for AI. What are they shooting up close? Oh, okay, there's a torpedo. So you can actually assign targets for your other gun groups used by AI. Pressing and holding X and 1 will assign chosen target to your primary guns, 2 will assign to secondaries, and 3 will assign to tertiaries. And there's also the movement, of course. Pressing W once, just a second. Yeah, pressing W once will command for ahead 1/3, one more will ahead 2/3, one more standard ahead, full ahead, and finally ahead flank. And pressing S, the back key, will likewise decrease the commanded engine power all the way down to full back. That's how you control your ship's speed. You don't need to press and hold anything to move. And A and D, left and right, will command your ship to turn. Finally, you see that there's a white line coming from my ship and going to the target ship. That's the torpedo targeting. And torpedoes are fired with spacebar. Right now, since no tubes are selected, if I press spacebar, all the torpedo tubes that can look at that direction will release 1 torpedo. Let's say I turn a little bit and press again, and we fire 2 more at that angle. We can also release individual torpedoes Pressing Q will select a torpedo tube, and we can do things like that. Remaining 6 torpedoes will not be able to fire at this direction because they are in the torpedo tubes at the other side of the ship. We will need to turn to release those. So these are the basic controls for moving and fighting in ships in War Thunder. There's also the damage control related stuff. 6 will be for putting out fires. 7 will be repairing general damage to your systems like guns, propulsion, etc. And pressing 8 will be for stopping hull breaches or pumping out water from leaks. And yeah, that's the general gist of controls in War Thunder Naval mode, and hope it will be helpful for some people who want to start with it. Cheers and see you later, folks.